Good evening to my MML brothers and sisters. It is time for the MML Pro Season 29 Precap of SCC/TNA. And with me today, I've got the brothers, the Mac brothers. We've got the Jimmy and we've got the Mac. Welcome, boys.
How are you,
Thank
sir?
you. How are you?
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
It feels like we should get a house together the way this is going. I mean, we was only doing this yesterday, and then we're back, and we're now doing we've been promoted, fellas. We've been promoted. We're doing the pros.
How about that?
How about that?
The podcast shows have taken off rapidly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that's
our
it now.
fame is known far and wide now.
Yeah.
So, we're going to start with SCC TNA, like I said. I don't know why this is just the one I came up to, and I was like, well, yeah, we'll start with that one then. The MML big lads, the governors, the board members wanted us, if we can, is to try and say a bit about the stories and everything like that. So, the problem we have with this is that we had very short time. Obviously, I know Jimmy, you was working as well, and I was washing my hair and stuff like that, serious stuff. And obviously on my deathbed. So we've tried our best, is what I'm going to say. We tried our best to get some bits of the story. I apologise if I get it wrong. I think I've got it right. So we're going to do that, and obviously we're going to have a talk about the teams, and then we'll move on. I don't know how long they'll be, because we're going to try and get through as many as we can. But the SCC TNA will be the one to start off with, and then we'll be going to the F4 after that, what apparently is the best for, or what, I don't know. That's what Serious Jets told me. So, believe it or not, I don't believe though. As I go online, everybody's like, boom, boom, Discording me with loads of stuff. Well, that'll have to be left. Right, so, let's start off then. It's quite easy then, lads. Obviously, we will have the ball predictions, and I'll be asking for the two you think will get through to the playoffs, the kiss of death. We've got all that. So we're going to start off with the Granite City Grimbeards. Now, let me see what I've got to tell you about this team. This is going to be fun, this one.
I couldn't find anything on these guys. I'm glad you did.
It took me a while to Hey, Bobby. Hi, Jock. It took me a while. And in a way, I wish I didn't. Because it's a great story, but you'll see in a minute why I mean. Right. Granite City Grimbeards are coached by the one and only Just Stevie, my brother from another mother. Yes, that's the one. A really good friend of mine, obviously. Dwarf brothers, even your dogs agree with me. He's such a great guy, and he's one of the main reasons that I brought Dwarfageddon to obviously the MML. And it's the saddest thing that I had a dwarf is because obviously I'm not brothers with Just Stevie anymore. But I love the guy to bits. And basically, the Granite City Grimbeards play out the Granite Dome. It's an Astro Granite pitch. And you'll find there's a bit of a theme in this division about Astro Granite pitches. I personally don't like them. I don't like them. They look horrid, grey, yeah. But obviously, if you break stuff, that's all what matters. They've played 96 games of the Grimbeards. So 4 games to the 100, what, is pretty impressive. And obviously, any dwarf in this world, if the proper dwarfs would be sponsored by Budweiser, obviously the premium dwarf beer, it's just got to happen. His motto is "This is going to be bloody," and as we found out, dwarfs are bad people. Bad people. Those dwarfs murdered Betty Beryl. I was looking for Betty Beryl. Now I know why. The dwarfs she must have obviously said something bad. Dwarfs don't usually kill stuff unless you're green. Dog agrees with me. Dog agrees with me. Right. Okay. So, we took a while, but I think what it is now there's 3. Yeah, she's dead. Yeah, Stevie told me she's dead. She ain't coming back. She ain't. She's gone. Get another one. I don't know where you had Betty. Betty Beryl. Get one called Beryl Betty. Don't be a sister or twin sister. I don't know.
That's right. Bring back her uglier stepsister.
She may have spilt his pan, and if she has, she deserves to die. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. But I'm sure some decent orc Perilous got as well. Well, what can I say? Did the dwarves kill her as well? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Maybe there was triplets. I don't know. Well, that's your own fault. It's your own player what got it, isn't he? That's not my fault. You can't blame the dwarves for that. If your team stop fighting between themselves, you know, this just wouldn't happen. My orcs are very civilized. Not like your lot just end up killing each other. It's just not good for Blood Bowl, I'll tell you that now. Anyway, the Granite City Grimbeard, let's see what I've got. Here we go. We're going to have a little game here because I can't even pronounce this. But I'm going to Discord you guys this saying. And we're all going to have a go at this saying, right?
Okay.
Alright, where are we? Jimmy, there he is, right. I'll give you that. And I'll give Armac that. This might be the easy one. Right, okay.
Oh, wow.
This is the easy one? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
You want me to go first?
If you want to go first, you go first.
Okay. Alright, hang on a second. Bloth Bolmidyard Oi?
Oi? Oi?
Oi? Oi?
What's OI? How do you say OI?
Is it an I or is it an L? I thought it was an L.
Is it an L?
I don't know.
O?
Oh.
Midyard O? Oh, maybe I thought it was an I.
I don't know.
I'll
It might
change
be.
that to O.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you want to pronounce it again, though? Because it's like, you know.
Bloth Bolmidyard O?
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's good. It's gonna be better than what I say. Well, go on and see if you can get it done better.
I think it would be East Bloth Bow Midder All.
That sounded extremely posh when you said the block. Then it got
that sounded like you were from like you're from Yorkshire or something.
Oh
yeah. Very, very, very fancy.
Yes, well, I had my pinky up when I said it.
Well, there you go. You know, it only works if you was drinking Yorkshire tea at the same time. This is. I'm gonna mad at this. F Blothball Mijord all. That's what I'm gonna say. Now, for 2 points, does anyone know what that means?
Oh, we have to know what it means? Oh, wow. I didn't know we had to do that part.
Booby, I think it's dwarf. I should really know, shouldn't I?
Wow.
So,
I have no idea what that could be.
Does anyone know in chat what it means? F Blothball Mijord all. I'm saying all if it's oi. It'd be better if it was oi, wouldn't it? Oi! Mijord oi! 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 Right. Does someone want to have a guess?
Something like the Blood Bowl, you know, murdered all, something like that.
Well,
yeah.
Luckily, because I speak fluent dwarf, I can actually tell you what it means. This is where I found it was dwarf. It's F Blothball Mijord oi, or all, if you want to pronounce it, means the Blood Bowl world has changed.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
Okay.
So, it's lucky for you two guys who've got a dwarf on the panel. Right, your next one, guys.
Seriously.
Get ready for your next one. Like I said, here we go.
Oh no.
Another one.
Oh man.
There you go. Jimmy, I'll let you go. I'll let you go with that one first.
You let me go first? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Jegnasta Duffy et Wakker.
Come on, man. Put that master's degree to work. Come on.
That was. They didn't teach ancient dwarfish at Notre Dame. I missed that elective.
Notre Dame.
Wow.
The only thing I know about Notre Dame is the American football team. That's all I know about them, Notre Dame. But
not Saturday they weren't. So go ahead, go ahead, Aristotle. Go ahead, go. You go pronounce it. Go ahead.
I would go with Jeg Ensta Dath Eth Vakar.
Oh.
That's how I would go with that.
That's,
right.
That's
couple silent letters in there. A couple silent letters in there.
Yeah, like 6 of them.
Yeah, right.
You only pronounced half of it.
Yeah, you have to leave a couple out. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I think it's pronounced. Well, it's not, but it's pronounced Jagniesta Dathida Vijaka. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds extremely right. I think that was the most fluent out of the 3. I'm not biased at all. Does anyone want to guess what that? Does anyone want to guess what that means? So we've got Bloodbowl Majordal. What was the Bloodbowl wealth has changed. Now we've got Yaginista Dathi whatever, and that means I know, beautiful, wasn't it? My girlfriend's still gonna want me after this.
That was smooth. That second
time. That was
time
beautiful, wasn't it? That was beautiful.
What does it mean?
It means I feel it in the water.
I feel it in the water. Okay.
So we've got the Bloodbowl world has changed. I feel it in the water. Now here comes your next. Look, I can't even like. I think you guys are like getting the gist of it now. We're gonna be all right. You'll know Dwarfish by the end of it. Mac, we'll let you go first when it comes through. I think I've said it to Jimmy twice. So there you go. There we go. There. Because
Oh wow. Okay.
But Armac seems to know. Armac seems to know what he's talking about. So we should let Armac go first, and we'll just copy. That sounds like
Jagensta Dath Eth Agother. Oh, Agother. Ooh.
Not bad. Not bad. Go on then, Jimmy. Show him how it's really said.
Yeah.
I know what this means.
Jagnasta Dath Ogolfer.
Yes.
A golfer, yeah. I could see a dwarf being a golfer.
Look,
definitely.
A golfer. Yeah.
A golfer.
They'll throw me in jail if I kill all the golfers.
So I've got it as Jagandianesta Dathia Thor Ogather. See, at the end there. Yeah. And you seem to think you know what it means.
I think I know what it means.
Go on then.
I feel it in the air.
Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. It's not.
Let's see. It's a good one. It's obviously I feel it in the.
Yeah. I feel it in the car's water. Yeah.
I feel it in the wind.
Let the dwarf tell you what it means, lads. It means I feel it in the earth.
The earth.
You went all the way around it.
I should have known that, right? Yeah.
You know,
because they're always in the underground. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Right, the final one then. Your final one, you'll be glad to hear. Armac, you've got it first for some reason, and then Jimmy, you've got it now. There we go. I mean, obviously we sort of know now, don't we? We're doing well here. We're doing well.
I think I know what this means.
Well, I bloody hope so.
I got it.
I hope so.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Well, let's pronounce it. Let's pronounce it first. Who wants to pronounce it first?
Okay, so Jeg Smell Dath Ether Wunster.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, just to say for his favourite part. Go on then.
Jeg Smell Dath Eth Wunster.
I like that. I think you pronounce that really well. I really do. I might put a bit of twist on this. Jeg smell that with the
Yeah, well, for
that was beautiful. That was what we call a French dwarf who isn't really French. I think I needed some ID for that. But so guys, what does that mean then? You guys obviously know what that means.
I smell it in the fire.
Smell it in the fire. That's definitely a dwarven thing, isn't it? But you're wrong.
Or smoke. Oh.
You're still wrong.
I smell it in the air.
Oh, you smarty pants. Yes, it is. I smell it in the air. Yes.
There you go.
It's all right. It's all right. I speak fluent dwarf, so we would have got it right anyway, obviously. I did not have the answers on the page next to me at all when we did that, honestly. Basically, the story really is a twist on the Lord of the Rings. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the Lord of the Rings, but basically that's what it was. And basically, the forged, obviously, these 6 Longbeards, what was really strong, steadfast, and brave, all Great Dwarf Lords. They made basically 2 Troll Slayers, Bloodthirsty, Courageous, and Fearless. Like the Warriors on the Wall from the Great Dwarven Strongholds, and they made the Runners into Agile and Quick. So basically, they just made the perfect dwarf, and obviously, Serious Jest would appreciate the greatness of dwarfs. He likes them. Yeah. He loves them.
Absolutely.
He does. So and basically, it was one race to rule them all, and that's what the dwarves were supposed to be. This dwarf team was to rule all of the MML, basically. So, you know, and somewhere along the way, they was deceived by a nasty person, basically. And it was actually eventually locked away in the trophy cabinet because, basically, they weren't who they were supposed to be. And there was basically left in there for years and years and years. See if I can see anything else. And he says, darkness crept into the game of Blood Bowl. Rumors grew of a legendary team has been released for a tournament. Whispers of talent filmed returning from the east, of shadow of TD scorers in the west. The time had come. And the Granite City basically broke out of the trophy cabinet, abandoned the trophy cabinet, and obviously joined back in the Challenge League to basically regain what was theirs, basically. And basically, as he puts it, a ginger-headed, grumpy Scotsman found the team, basically said, "My precious dwarf, my own," and basically took them on, and obviously that was just Stevie. And basically, that's basically what's happened to him. I mean, they're basically now back in the pros. There was in the CL, then there was the pros, then in the CL, back in the pros. So, you know, and I've got a lot. Obviously, as you know, I've got a lot of time for just Stevie and the dwarfs. I mean, you know, he's a great guy, and he's a dwarf. I mean, what else, you know, can I say about the guy? He's a dwarf. That's all that matters. So yeah, I mean, like I say, it was quite hard to find that, but obviously I thought we'd have a bit of fun with the pronunciations, because obviously, as most people know, I'll kill him, and I thought, you know what, might as well make you two kill it as well. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously got Lord of the Rings spin on it, or that's the impression I got from that story. And you know, it looked pretty good, and like I say, we've had quite a short time to look at some of these stories, but some of these stories were really, really good, and you know, I've obviously got a bit more stuff from others as well, especially I can't pronounce that, Gazmal. I was laughing on the Gazmal story. I mean, that was so funny. Yeah.
His diary.
Oh, his diary. I was crying on one of the stories I was reading. It was pretty funny. But obviously, Grand City Grimbeards again. They're back again. Obviously, they've got to come and rule them all. You know. I mean, you know, without going too deep into them, the dwarfs, so they've got to do well, surely.
Yeah, they certainly have a chance to rule them all here. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And they got, you know, and I'm sure that what's his name? Here, where is he? That Doric Rat Smasher. I'm sure he can't wait to play the Rat Lives Matter.
Yeah, he's all about the Bubby Man matchup.
Yeah, he's all about the Bubby Man. That's all he's thinking about.
I mean, when I had a look on the team, I obviously shock horror. Bernie picks a killer. Doric Rat Smash. I thought, I hope he like breaks a few rats, because obviously he's got to live up to his name, hasn't he?
Yes, he does.
But it's like I say, that there's he likes his armor, doesn't he? He likes his armor and his dwarves, and this is it. I mean, these Longbeards, these 6 Longbeards, he's kept with the 6. So obviously, he's kept with the theme of the story. What's really good. And then obviously he's got his blitzers, he's got his troll slay, and basically he's got the team what the story says, like, you know, the 2 runners and everything else. Well, I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, I didn't realize that until I read the story. So you know, this is a wide open play pool, I think, out of all 4 of them. This is one I looked at and thought, I have no idea. I mean, I've got to ask, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you like dwarfs? Do you like them?
Yes, I used to play dwarfs all the time. Yes, I like.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, and Jim was always he was always elves. Yeah, he always liked the elves. Yep.
When we first started playing, I was always the wood elves.
Yep. Right.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. There you go. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Blood and Bits. Stevie, Crippled Male Wolf. Now, who's Blood and Bits? Is that gonna be? Oh, let me think. That's gonna be Rubber Bullets, maybe. I'm gonna guess.
Rubber Bullets.
I'm guessing it's Rubber Bullets. Wolf. I'm guessing it. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm going with. Yeah, I mean, like I said, yes, I got it right. Yes, 2 points to me on Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I like this team. I think they're really. I think they're gonna give people here a lot of problems with all their guard and and they're too and Rat Smasher. He's a terror.
Yeah, and 96 games played as well. So the 4 games off the 100. What is an impressive feat?
Yeah.
As you see many dwarf teams with 6 guys with 3 edge, so they can actually move around a little bit. I mean, I think they're going to surprise people being able to. I guess it's not going to be as easy just to base them up as you would normally think, because they'll dodge just like anybody else on a 3+. So it's a pretty good team. I like the team. Yeah.
And a shout out to Pinky Rockhelm. What a name that is. Thunder will appreciate that guy's got pro. As does Doric Rat Smasher, so, I'm sure Thunder will approve that. And obviously leader on the runner as well, so, so that gives him his 3 rerolls, 1840 TV. I'll be cheering on just Stevie. He's got a tough first matchup against InGen. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a good team, and we'll wish him the best of luck. Right, let's go on to Yobs 2.3. So these are a team what played, I think, in season 3 by the looks of it on the motto. What have I got for them? So obviously the coach is Southie. Right, here's a question somebody in the chat might know. Stadium name is YOSC. Does anybody know what that stands for? YOSC. Does anybody want to be the smart aleck and tell me what that stands for? While you're thinking, he's got the Astro Granite plane surface, just like obviously the Granite Sea Greenbeard's had. And the good thing as well is an Orc, so his sponsor has to be Orcidas. That's a proper. Of course. Any other sponsor I've been so disappointed.
That's right.
Now I'm swayed to see what sponsor I've got. What else have I got here? And this team have played a staggering 114 games.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I just saw that. They have
114 games, and there is teams with more than 114 games. What is just absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Right, so I'll go back to it so I remember. What does YOSC stand for? Now, I was expecting something crazy, but it isn't. It stands for Yate Outdoors Sports Complex.
Huh.
Oh.
How about
that?
Makes
sense.
Yeah.
So I was glad I didn't guess any of that, because I would have gone nowhere near that. I said to him, look, mate, what basically is, what does it stand for?
Yeah. How normal? How normal?
How very normal. I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't find any stories on this team for whatever reason.
So I have one. I know that Flablop, their longtime leader, retired.
Oh, no.
And has been replaced by Blood Guzzler. That's his nephew.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the nephew arrived to take, and apparently Flablob, the only way they could save him, apparently he was really sick, and the only way they could save him was send him to an elf. And he came back healed, but he's now the queen of his tribe instead of the king. Yes. So he had some unfortunate side effects from the saving magic, and has sent his nephew to take his place. His strength up nephew is going to take, because he was a 4-strength blitzer as well,
right. Mm-hmm.
And now he's come to carry on the family name.
He's gonna take his aunt's place.
He's gonna take his aunt's place, yes, and showed up with her dress, and he's gonna take her place.
Well, let's hope the dress gives him extra armor. He should do. It should maybe get armor 10 next, just to keep the fluff going with that. Personally, I don't know. I'm just trying to think fluff purposes. But I'm really glad the Yobs are back. I mean, he's got so many different altercations of them and all that. And I was like, is this a team up with the Challenge League? He was like, no. The challenge was won by another Yobs team. Obviously Southie. I've always known Southie more of an Orc coach than anything else. So he's gone round, he's dabbled with, I think, rats, he's dabbled with goblins, and now he's back with his orcs. So I'm really happy to see that. And it's good to see a lot of orc teams now, you know? My idea is to get so many orc teams that Series Test hates the orcs and forgets about the dwarfs. Then we can all slide back and play dwarfs again. You know, that's the dream. That's the dream. But you know,
the orcs are a fashionable choice lately. They seem to be the team du jour lately. Yeah,
that's it. That's it. And this is one of
everybody's getting a taste.
Yeah, everyone likes the green stuff. These obviously, Yobs, I love them. And obviously, I like the story with with Mac. I wonder if he'll go around killing the elf who sort of messed his nephew up, or whatever. Yeah, that'd be quite interesting. I'm quite interested to see what happens with the story. I'll have to ask about that. So for some bizarre reason, I couldn't find the story on the Yobs 2.3, but I'm glad you did, because that's an interesting sort of aspect. That was good work, though. I remember.
That's why we're a good team.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's
why.
Yeah. See, that's why we invited him, Bernie. Bring something to the table.
Sometimes he gets one right.
Yeah. As the saying goes, every dog has its day.
There you go. That's right.
There we go. Exactly. Again, you know, I'm really excited to see the Yobs play. I mean, like I say, I love South. He's a great guy. I love the Yobs. I've loved the Yobs. I usually get suckered into tipping them every week because I love them so much. And they're Orcs. I mean, you know, you can't come with them. I love Orcs. And obviously, the great thing about Blood Guns is he's strength 4 as well, so he's a big, nasty orc. These orcs are going to break me. It's okay. Armac knows where to send them. An elf in the woods. They'll look after him. Don't worry about it.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys would think. They're a bit low on skills, I guess. I mean, they're only 1550, so I think he's brought them out the trophy cap now, I would like to think. And the probably need, you know,
had to restock. Yeah.
Although he's, a 4 agility blitzer and a strength 4 blitzer. That's
nice.
You know,
that's a nice start.
That's pretty much how you want to start. One of each of those. So
and
I'd say
got a movement 6 lineman. He's got a kicker as well. What's interesting? Some wrestle piece as well. That's interesting. I like that. See how that goes along. And you know, basically, this is a great thing. The Yobs are back now, and obviously they're going to try and obviously get back to how there was. And obviously, it takes time and this is the thing with franchises, isn't it? It's like it takes time to build your team, and I think just about every team goes through highs and lows, and you know, and lose players, and then have to build back up again. I mean, I have the greatest respect for people who can play a team for so many seasons. I get bored, I'll be honest. I mean, you know, Dwarf Again, I mean, they were the perfect team, and I just got bored. You know, so I have every respect for people like obviously Series Jest with the Necromantics who have played a ridiculous amount of games and still going strong. You know, but yeah, the Yobs like them, should be good, and you know, I expect them to do well. Right, now then, this guy I do love. I do like Mr. Rubber Bullets. I love this guy a lot. He's such a nice guy. And then you read his motto: first we steal it, then we raise it. Is what it said. Right, what we got here? Cadaver Robbers coach, Mr. Rubber Bullets. His stadium name is Tombstone Arrows. And guess what? He's got an acid granite pitch. But shock horror, he hasn't got a sponsor though. He doesn't have a sponsor. What's going on there? Right. So, to my knowledge, and I'm going off this, the Necromancer is called Mr. Rubber Bullets. And Riff and Raff were the 2 wolves. Obviously, there's both brothers. And Raff thought of the name of the team, what was Cadaver Robbers, what everyone thought was funny and liked to, be. The problem was, though, ghouls refused to sign for the robbers due to them not lasting very long. Apparently, when they hire the ghouls, they die. And, like, you know, if you're a ghoul with no regen, do you want to really be on the Cadaver Robbers? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't think you do.
Yeah.
I don't think you do. But the saddest thing what happened is Riff died in the first season. I mean, you know, his brother died. Oh, God, I'm getting flashbacks of Steve Michaels. Oh, my God. Oh, God, my brother. Oh, terrible. And, you know, I think that's really sad. I think he's in chat, so maybe he can tell us why he died. I think, he dub-skulled. He went for a blitz and dub-skulled and killed himself. What a way to go.
That's awful.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
It is awful. It is awful, but at the same time, the competitiveness in me says, you deserve to die for all double skulls. You deserve to die. You should be rolling powers. It was also on the bottom of 10-16 as well. Well, there you go. That's what happens if you blitz on 10-16. It can come back to bite you in the backside. So obviously they've got a problem with goals. Goals just do not want to stand for him. So this Nibbler, I don't know if they actually kidnapped him or what, but he's on the team. I don't know how they've got him on the team, but he's on the team now. After so many seasons, Raf decided that he didn't want to be captain. Now, there's a golem called Steve the Hedgewall. Now, I think Steve the Hedgewall, and that's a cool name, might I say, I think he was the one who was niggled really badly. Like, he was niggled
really
with
badly.
Yeah, really, really badly. And I think it was,
armor.
Yeah, he was niggled. And, very niggled. He had so many holes in him. Bless that lad. And he had, in the end, he just couldn't take any more. And they said, "Don't worry, you can now retire." Basically, it was. Well, you can retire, or you can keep playing, but you'll have to go and see the elf in the woods to fix you first. And obviously, after he heard what happened to the Orbs, he decided, I'll retire.
Yeah, I agree with him. I would have done the same thing.
I'll retire with all my parts.
So retired, and a new golem, a new superstar golem. There's a big hoo-ha about it. It was in the papers. It was in everything like that. Grom, it was called. Gorm, it was called. Gorm. Yeah. I quite like Gorm. It's an interesting name, short and sweet. And Gorm, to be fair, has done really, really well. There's a few stories about him showing how great he is. And Raph was so impressed with him that he threw away the captain's armband, did Raph, and gave it to Grom. And Grom's been the captain ever since. The interesting thing as well, Raph apparently was putting caps on his claws during the season. So he didn't hurt everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
I don't know, but I think Serious Jesswolf should try it in week 1 and let me know how it goes. Yeah. So basically, Raph still. I don't know much about Bad Boy. I mean, unless obviously he can tell us in the chat. But yeah, Raph's a broken wolf in my opinion. He's broken. He's got obviously a stat down as well now with the man as well movement. He's obviously still yearning for his brother, who obviously was viciously killed by on 10-16 in the first of the season. But I remember seeing this team in the last few seasons, and I had the honour of playing these in the playoffs. And I'm thinking, oh man, he's going to get beat this week. Oh, that looks tough, and he kept winning. He kept getting draws, and obviously Rubber Bolts is improving all the time. And you look at the team. I mean, they've lost Raph for week 1 was huge. Poor old Raffy, they haven't got him. Yeah. They haven't got him, and they got Bad Boy, so he's going to have to do well. And obviously they got Nibbler. I'm now really interested to see how long Nibbler lasts. Obviously, after being made aware of goals don't last very long on this team. And obviously he's got 2 quite newish golems, but obviously Gorm has been leading the way, doing well. He might only have block, but he's been doing very, very well. And then we've got absolute shed load of zombies. I don't know how many of them he's killed and have just joined him. LLL Core seems a pretty good name. So yeah, I think Raph is a big miss in week 1. I'm just seeing who he plays in week 1. He plays the 8 Yobs, so that's gonna be interesting.
Oh, that's gonna be. He could have certainly used Raph for that game.
Indeed.
Apparently, all them zombies are kills.
Yeah, it looks like from their names, it looks like a lot of them are probably kills.
Yeah, probably from Raph.
I just can't believe it. When I kill something, all hell breaks loose. He's killed how many? 4, 5, 6, 7 of the bloody things! And nothing's been said! 7?
He does it quietly.
He bloody does, obviously. Killed 7 of them, no bats an eyelid.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. 7!
Right. There's all kinds of fanfare when you kill someone, so...
Oh, yeah,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's good. Some highlight that shenanigans. I love that one. Yeah, so it gives a bit of flavour to the team, though, doesn't it? He should keep killing and get some new ones in. Mohovil Wysowski or something. I love that guy. God and grateful. So yeah, they're gonna miss Raph first week. What is it with Necro teams having 4 team rerolls? Is this something I've missed? Because Jesse has 4 team rerolls. Obviously, Bobbers have 4 rerolls.
Yeah, that reroll all day long.
Yeah, it seems like all Necro teams have this pact between themselves that they almost have 4 rerolls. Anyone want to add anything to this team? Anybody want to say anything?
Well, I think certainly that 4 agility wolf is, he's gonna be able to get things done and move the ball against the, if he can outdistance the Orcs. But, the only problem is he's got nobody can go with him. he's gonna be out there all by himself.
He's definitely the. I mean, his wolves are great. I mean, Raph is, assuming he can get his claws sharpened, he's great. He's somebody I would be afraid of, and a 4-edge wolf is fantastic for ball carrying. But yeah, I mean, not being able to keep ghouls healthy, stunts your stunts your speed on the necro team. So hopefully Nibbler can hang around longer than his brethren.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can hide behind some of these raised up zombies.
Yeah, I mean, this team goes through so many players as well. I mean, he's got his whites back to just normal level again. This team goes through so much. I mean, they need to just be built better. They need to use some sort of super glue or something. Or, I don't know, some sort of magic.
Hold them together. Yeah, they're using bad stitching.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he needs to send them somewhere else and get someone else to stitch them for him.
Put them together.
Yeah, yes, my goal tenor rate's huge. As soon as I buy 2, they die. So don't buy 2, just keep the 1. Just keep one.
Keep one.
Then the joke's on Nuffle, innit? Yeah,
as soon as I
smart
buy
thinking.
him, he dies. Yep.
Yes, right then. InGen Dano clones. Osiris Blueson.
I like this team. Yes, I like this team.
Why can't we have SC Wyatt? It triggers me. It triggers my OCD. Osiris Blueson. No, it's Wyatt, I tell you. It's not Blueson, it's Wyatt.
It's Wyatt.
It's Wyatt. Don't give me any of that. Bloody. And it's just a tongue twist sometimes. InGen Apocalypse Reborn, hybrid agility lizardman. He loves his agility skinks, this lad. Now, I tell you something. There was a great story, and I'd love to read it all, but I can't. But basically, let me just turn the page I've got here. I'm very pen and paper these days, people.
Old school.
Oh, I am old school.
Me too. Me too.
I started to craze back in the dinosaur era before they all got killed. White lost that. Yeah, I know he did. Yeah, I know, but I can still moan about it. I'm a Yorkshireman. That's what we do. So let's go through the stuff. So it's InGen Dino clones. Obviously, the coach is Osiris Blueson, aka Wyatt. I see Wyatt. His arena is called Site B. He's got lovely elf turf, so I give him a half for that. I love the elf turf. It looks beautiful. I just love it. It's not like that ugly. Yeah, I still got it. This team's played 45 games. I've read the story. I hope I've got this right. I don't know made of this story, but Dino Wicked Zinger, the skink, he had a job, and he worked for KFS, I do believe. Yes, KFS.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I read that story. Yes, that's right.
Basically, he worked for the KFS, and he basically they gave him a little satchel. He'd go and do deliveries and all that sort of stuff. And they said, basically, turn around and say, you must come through the entrance. You can't go through these areas because you're not allowed to. Blah blah blah. And obviously, he went to a dwarven place and said, here's your stuff. And the dwarves were very nice and punched him in the nose, as dwarves do. That's the sign of love and respect. That's nothing cruel. And obviously, he went back, and he may be still a bit punch drunk or what. He went into the wrong area, and basically he saw a dwarf with a big chopper and realised that
how skink burgers were made, right?
Yeah, basically, how skink burgers were made, and he found basically out that that obviously it'd been done for because he didn't know, and then he looked and found out that KFS basically stood for Karak Fried Skink, and obviously these dwarfs and halflings. He hates them, and that's the reason he hates them, because there's this halfling, cooking all these lovely skink burgers and stuff like that, with the dwarf chopping them up with his chopper and all that sort of stuff. And they was going to make him into the dwarfs tried to make him into a wicked zinger burger, but luckily for Dino Wicked, he ran away pretty quickly. I must admit, I chuckled reading that. I thought it was a really good.
That's funny.
That was really good.
Looks like they cut a little flesh out of him. He's down to 6 armor.
Yeah.
Somebody got a piece of him. Yeah.
Just a taste. Just a
Just a
starter.
taste.
Just a
That's right.
starter. Yeah.
But
oh,
that was a great story.
I must admit, I did laugh at that one. I thought it was pretty good. Oh my god, Tedden, you're killing me, mate. Clone of Dano Zitkin. I hope I said that right. Went to play for the Kazoka Broker League. Was that the dirty player? What was like AV5 or 6? And I think he got killed as well, didn't he? I think. Is that the guy you talking about, Hedden?
Yeah.
I think you maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right.
yes. My memory's pretty good tonight. I'm pretty happy with
that.
Yeah. Half for myself. Obviously, he basically has. He doesn't have 6 auras. I don't think he ever has 6 auras. He usually has 5. But now he's gone with 4. He's gone with 4. Now. And obviously, it's all about the skinks.
9 skinks. That's what I like about them. Man, this is a fast team.
Yeah. I've never seen a team with 9 skinks before.
Neither have I.
That's a lot of skinks.
That is a lot of skinks. So, I mean, he is just faster than everybody with those guys. And, usually if you can take out a couple of the skinks, it cripples the lizards. But they have 9 of them. How are you going to get rid of 9?
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
How many of them will be alive in the season, though?
Well, yeah, I mean, one of them's niggled, probably not. I mean, if he gets through the season with 5 or 6 of them left, I'd say that would be pretty successful.
Yeah. In-gen Dino clones, when we do the Goblin Gambling thing, whatever I do, they do the opposite. So I think, oh yeah, in-gen are going to win this week, they'll lose. Oh, they'll lose this week, they'll win. I can't get them. So this in the first week, I was like, right, Just Stevie, I've got your back here, mate. In-gen Dino clones are going to win 3-0. You're welcome, Just Stevie. You're welcome. Because they do the opposite. They do the opposite. So I expect...
That's right.
Say, I've got my dwarf brother there. I've got him thinking. It's a win-win for me, that one. But yeah, they've only got the 4, so obviously they've got a clone of Black Marsh clone. So this is basically a clone team of the original team, like I said. And Tado Kettering. That's an interesting one.
And the leader is their only reroll, right? That leader on the source.
Right.
That's their only reroll. So.
Oh,
that's right.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't see that. That's a good...
That's living dangerous right there. Yeah. That is living on the edge. Yeah.
Yep.
Edge of
they don't need them.
Maybe it's to do with the TV cap. One thing though, what I am, I may have this wrong, but if we are regenning or whatever you want to call it, we're bringing them, cloning them all back. Where is Dino Chicken? That is my question to Wyatt. Where is Dino Chicken? Bring back Dino Chicken, and don't let Thunder kill him.
Yeah. That's a great name.
Dino Chicken. I love that name.
I love Dino Chicken. He was one of my favorites. He didn't last very long. Thunder killed him. So yeah. So that was quite sad. But yeah, after reading that story, I feel for Dino Wicked thing. I want him to live. I don't want him to be a skink burger. I think he deserves better. So I hope he lives. But yeah, no team reroll. That's pretty. And if the clone of I can't pronounce it, Apocolosaur, if he gets splattered, then they're in a bit of trouble. But I think it's more to do with the team value than anything else.
Yeah, to get under the 1870. Yep.
Yeah. So it is what it is, but a little bit there or thereabouts, right then.
Yeah, after many seasons, it gets tough to get under that 1900.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. I know.
I don't know if I pronounce this right. Gasmiel.
Gasmiel.
That doesn't sound Gasmiel. It's got to be French. Makes no sense. Gasmiel. Way of life. Yes. Some Mandidi. I love some Mandidi. Right, when I read the story on this, I was laughing very much. And again, I really couldn't pick it all out, but I've got a bit of it. But let's go through what I do have of them. Obviously, the Gasmiel's way of life, obviously. Well, I've got down here the coach is still Mandidi, but he isn't really the coach now because it's Gasmiel, or whatever they call him. The arena's called the Shelter. They've got the Spike magazine sponsor. What's pretty good. The only problem is, obviously, if they do bad stuff, they're going to be on the cover of the Spike magazine. But they've only played 17 games, so they're quite, very new team. What I was quite surprised of. But basically, there's a story about obviously Gasmiel's recruitment of the team, and it's just an amazing story. And basically, he's going to obviously, he ends up getting most of them from the tavern. He goes to the boy bands, and he soon found out boy bands are basically war dancers, and he was like, "No, I'm not having any of that." So he went to obviously the tavern, and he got a lot of players. he signed a guy called Britannicus Velonius Salarius Cassius.
Whew.
Obviously, it's quite a long name, that, so he renamed him the guy with the big nose.
Okay. Much better.
Yeah,
that's where it is.
He said, "What's your name?" He says, "I'm Britannicus Felonius Salarius Cassius." He goes, "Wow, how do you manage to get a nose bigger than your name?" Okay, we'll just call you the guy with the big nose. Man, there's so many of them. And there's a guy called John Random who was in the Cathy War, and he's like, "Well, that's not very good, is it? The Cat War." And he goes, "No, Cathy War." And he's like, "It does have Cathy though, doesn't it?" So he's not too impressed with him. He thinks he's a bit of a noob, what I quite liked. And then there's a guy who basically was looking for his girlfriend called Sarah Connor. And if for some bizarre reason, he was like, yeah, she works for me. And he called him Terminator Terminus or something. So I quite liked
Terminated.
that. Yeah. So that was quite a good one. And then he couldn't understand the word of one of these guys who basically had just a one eye as well. There's so much it goes into here. Then a guy who lost an eye came, and as I loved the music being played while I was talking to him, and also because of it, I couldn't hear a single word he said. I decided to name him I Waste to Hell.
I Waste to Hell.
Yeah,
what
and
a
then,
great name.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he was like, then came a guy who was looking for his girlfriend named Sarah Corn or something like that. I told him she was working with us to make sure he'll join us, and I don't know why I decided to name him Terminator.
Terminated.
The names are just great.
That's great. And I love that the eye waste guy has an eye patch. Yeah.
He does. And the funniest one is when they go onto the pitch, and there's a spider on the pitch at least 2 inches wide. So I acted responsibility and took all the players away from the danger. And then a guy just basically goes, just before panic came to its climax, the guy came on the pitch, went straight to the spider and smashed it. Incredible. Luckily he was available, so I hired him right away and generously named him Ballsy Boy.
Ballsy Boy.
It's
That's
just
great.
It's so funny. It's probably my favourite story what we read. There was some really good ones, and I was just crying with it. I was like, if we didn't have time constraints, I would have read the full thing. It was just amazing. It was just everything about it, and also the artist as well. It was a mute guy, bless him. It was just beautiful. It was just a beautiful. And I'm going to have to try and find the other ones because obviously it's all about the diaries and that. And I'm glad that I got rid of Stuntman Dini because I think Gazmael can do a lot better. And maybe now under his leadership and obviously the way he recruited his team, I'm pretty confident that maybe he'll be able to get it done this season. So, it's this team now has. I have an affection for this guy. I quite like them a lot. But what do you think of the team, guys? I mean, like I said, they are quite new. But they did all right last season, and elves don't really need many skills, do they, to be competitive, as we know. So obviously now we've got the flesh. I quite like Ballsy Boy. I think he's one not to mess with, obviously.
Yeah, and John Random is building into a hell of a blitzer.
Well, he was in the Cathy Wars, wasn't he? So you'd expect him to be pretty tough, to be fair. So
after 17 games, they certainly have done well for themselves.
Yeah. I wonder if Terminated has actually realised that Sarah Connor isn't actually with the team yet. Do you know what I mean? You'd think he'd be a bit smart and think, well, where is she?
I
want to know what Mandini or Gazmael, I should say, his excuse was. Because
why have I never seen her?
Yeah. Someone not right there, isn't they? Someone not right there. But again, 1590 TV, they've got the rerolls, the Apothecary. Obviously, Stan Mandini is an amazing coach. And he's such a lovely guy. I've announced, go back in the day, beautiful voice. So.
Now, if you notice, they only have 20,000 in cash there because apparently at the end of the season, they blew all their money on a big party for the team. Yep, apparently that happened too, and because they were expecting to make the playoffs, but they were inched out of the playoffs by a strength of schedule. Yes, and right, and so therefore they didn't claim the money they thought they were going to get, and they blew all the money on the party.
That's
and
beautiful.
So now they were unable to. So now Gasmiel is stuck with trying to find a way to replenish the coffers to rebuild. Yes, from the players they lost last season.
Well, the party was already paid for. You have to have it. They had to put down that
That's
deposit
right.
on the
They
party.
already paid for it. They thought they were in. They thought they were in. Yep. And then the bad news got handed down. Right.
And
in
wasn't
a
it
letter.
the Rock of Revelation? Wasn't they the ones who got the spot? Wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
That is correct. Yep.
They've been looking for payback. You guys cost me so much money last season. How dare you?
That is
right.
That is a revenge game there. No doubt.
Yes, it
question.
is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Dog's like, damn right, we're gonna chew on them all.
That's right.
Damn right. Again, I would expect them to be there or thereabouts. They're such a good team. Headless is saying, yeah, it's their next game is the revenge. Missed out on strength of schedule by 1. Well, if they'd have won the game, they wouldn't have missed out. That's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles, so to say. But yeah, I can't wait. I mean, like I say, the good thing about looking quick, like, it's hard to look at all these stories, and some of them we couldn't find. But there's some cracking stories in there. Like I said, that cracked me up. That story just absolutely cracked me up. And obviously what you said, and obviously what Clown said about the pie being paid.
Yep.
That's just beautiful. I can just vision that. I could just play it like, what are we celebrating now? We didn't make it.
Right. And they already spent the money. Yep.
Dear me, I love it. Gotta love it. Right, let's get on to the Sackville 11s. Now, I think this was a team I found nothing of at all, I'm afraid. Yeah, this team I didn't find nothing of. I couldn't find out on the Dustbin, I couldn't find out on the Sackville, but he has all them really weird, like, letters, doesn't he? So,
yeah.
when they start putting stuff like that on, that loses me, I'm afraid. But I have a soft spot for these. I love the Halflings, all that very beautiful green. I think they're going green so they're trying hard in the pitch so people can't hit them. But yeah, Dustbin 89. I tell you what, Chuck Forrest, what a name that is.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that name, I was like, you know what? That is the name. And plunk it on. Oh, God, I love it.
Chuck Forrest.
Chuck Forrest, I love it. I just love it. I love Chuck Forrest. Yeah, and the name of the arena, Field of Creams. I mean, you gotta give him it. You gotta give him it. And obviously they've got the Knuckles altar. They've got the McMurty sponsor as well, so obviously to do with food. They played 24 games, and the motto is "Fat from above." So, beautiful. Obviously, they only got 2 rerolls, but a lot of times they'll get the chef vote for 100k. Decent fan factor for a halfling team. And yeah, I just love some of these names: Rumpel Fatkins, Amber Nectar, Ben Freitos. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And Charlo Bronnins, because
Custard Shart. Yeah.
I mean, what can you say? What can you say about them? They're just beautiful, beautiful team. And I always think halflings are pretty. I don't know, they're pretty good. The problem is it's when the trees root. That's when the problem goes.
Yeah. And you can't. Well, and look at that, like 3 movement on a tree. Like you cannot get a better level up than movement on a tree.
You're hoping for
really
movement,
nice.
failing that jump
Really
up.
nice.
They're the two you really want, isn't it? Because then they can. If I'm right in saying, if they got movement 3, they can just get back up, can't they? If you knock them down, so they don't need to roll a 4+ to get up. What basically is one of the major negatives of the tree. Obviously, flings basically don't have much in the way of skills. Rumpel Fatkins, he's a bit of a speedster. Catch, short feet, sprint. So he's a pretty good guy, but obviously he's niggled now, so I don't know how long he's going to live. I think he's on borrowed time.
Yeah, that's he's on borrowed time right now.
I think he'll probably die on a field throw. He'll throw, they'll end into the end zone and splat and kill himself. But he'll score the touchdown as he kills himself. A great way to go.
That would be the way to go.
That's the way to go. That's the way for a fling to go.
Oh yeah. Or better still, impale on something and kill it and kill each other. That'd be beautiful. Oh, how did my dad die? He impaled on a vampire and killed it. He killed himself, but
got flung into a cage and took a vamp with him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sounds like a job for Buns of Anarchy. Yep.
Buns of Anarchy. Oh dear, these names.
Love that guy. Names. I love that guy.
Oh man, but I mean, they're always going to be competitive. like I say, I mean, they've only played 24 games, but they usually rely on the inducements out the more than anything else.
Yeah.
And obviously
they're going to get a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get a ton in this division.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I think they'll do all right. I mean, I just hope Chuck Forrest lives up to his name. He's got block break tackles, so you kind of think he would. I think it's going to be quite competitive.
They can with Nuffles Alder for their home games. So I mean, 50K off the if you're getting Puggy or you're getting what can they get? They get the Dart.
What's her name?
They get the Slayer.
And of course, you can get the big tree, right?
Yeah, you can get Deep Root. So so I mean, it's, they can wield some firepower with those inducements because they're going to be getting a ton of them.
Yeah, ton.
All right, let's move along then to here we go then, the Orcs or Orcs of Revelation. Now, I'm sure you guys know a lot about these guys. Are you going to? Well, I'll tell you what I've got so far. Then you can tell me if you've got any stories or tell me anything what you've got. So we've got the Orcs of Revelation. Obviously Hedon List is the coach. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right though. The Mans of Mayhem is the arena. They have no sponsor. How come they have no sponsor? Yeah. Why is that? We need to find that out. And they've played 31 games. So again, a team what basically hasn't played many. Jock says you fired the thrower header. He got killed, I've been told. He got killed, Jock. But basically, the way this team came about is that Headless was slung out of his local pub, or tavern, I should say. He wanted to be a Bloodbowl player, but he just wasn't good enough. He just wasn't strong enough. Couldn't throw it, couldn't do whatever. So he thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and pretend to be a goblin. So he painted himself green, became a goblin, but apparently he didn't have the right smell and he couldn't dodge. So they soon, when he went to the draft practice and all that, they soon knew he wasn't a bloody goblin, and he even got fired from there, what really is pretty embarrassing. And then he walked into, obviously, the Rock of Revelation Tavern, where he pretty quickly gets knocked out by, I think it was Elvis who knocked him out. But then, obviously, what's happened is the trolls at the rulebook. And there's all these Bloodbowl orcs, and no one had a clue what the rules are, and various stuff. There was all arguing and fighting. As by the sounds of it, this is what this team does. And obviously, one thing Headless had was obviously because he's such a Bloodbowl fanatic, he knew the rules. So he obviously fell in and became their coach because he was the only one who knew the rules. And also, there is a bounty on Chris as well, the wonderful Black Oak Pommer. So I'm gutted he's not in my division, because apparently he's got a nice prize. I think he's going to send a model if you kill him. So can I not join this division? Can I not get a trade? Someone trade with me, please. Anyone? I need a trade.
Right. And apparently he says he's the biggest, baddest orc around as well.
Yeah. My guys took offense to that.
I bet they did.
I'm Eddie Jaws, It's Eddie Jaws. Eddie Jaws ain't gonna.
Eddie Jaws.
He's not having that. Did you see him get killed? Did you see him get killed by a tree in the playoffs? No. Why? Because it's Eddie Jaws. That's why. Everybody knows who Eddie Jaws is. So yeah, we would have liked a quiet word with Mr. Chris, but unfortunately they've run into this division and they've dodged us. That's the story we're spinning. They dodged us.
I see.
That seems believable. Obviously, he's got Craig, who's a bit of a dirty fouler there. Look at that fouling, dirty player. And obviously, Rocksteady. Now, I'm a bit confused, because in the story, I thought he only had his head left with the rules in his mouth. But obviously, he's not headless, so he's obviously alive, and I've obviously read it wrong. Rosie wasn't one of us Rocks. He's dead. No throwers in the Rocks. Right. Make that as you will.
No throwers. Yep, no throwers. Yep.
Yeah. That's sensible.
I don't have any throwers in my team either, so I agree with that. But yeah, I mean, he's got this big bounty on him, and this is something what you usually don't see in the MML. Bounties are a bit frowned upon, but apparently Chris has got one on him. And it's like, I'm just a bit gutted I'm not in that division, because we all know that, I have a habit of killing stuff apparently. So, it could have been like, say, hey Chris, I need the money. But, you know, I'm not going to get that chance, am I? You know, it's like, here's what you could have won, take it away.
Well, there's always the playoffs.
Always.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, though, these guys fight between themselves all the time, so he's probably one of his own teammates who's going to kill him.
They do, yeah. He smacks his own team around as much as he does the guys on the field.
And I think I read, when I was quickly skimming through the stories as well, they had a big massive scrap, and they trashed the flooring of the tavern, their own tavern. You know,
burn it to the ground.
Burned it down.
Burn it to the ground. Yep.
What on earth?
All right. That's why they stole that farm from that family. Yeah.
Nasty people.
Yes,
So yeah, I mean, it's like Chris must die. Yeah, I didn't say he must die. So obviously, if I forgot this right then, though. So Chris basically, he put them all like captive, and was Hedden one of those he put captive as well? And that's why Hedden List is saying he must die. Was it Hedden List who put a bounty on him with the farmer?
It was the farmer's family. Yep. Put the price on him. Yes.
I like it.
Yep. And yeah, he'd escaped, right? He escaped, but then he ran into the Bloodbowl official coming in to give him a couple sacks of gold, so he decided to hang around.
Oh, did you know?
Yep.
Everyone likes some gold, especially those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with Chris. I want to see if anybody actually goes and targets him. I presume he'd get targeted anyway because he's a pommer. But he's a Black Orc pommer, what makes it brilliant, because obviously you usually the pommers as a blitzer, though you don't use the same as a Black Orc.
Yeah,
so,
with jump up.
Oh yeah, I like him. I like him a lot.
Black Orc with jump up.
But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is obviously quickly looking at some of the stories. It's sort of like all of a sudden now I know, and I'm going to go back and read the full story of the franchise because it looks amazing. And you just sort of connect to players, you know, if that makes sense. Especially Emerald Elvis. I quite like Emerald Elvis for some reason. I quite like him. He's the one I like. So I mean, the team itself, I mean, they're doing well. I mean, they made the playoffs last year. Obviously, they made Gadsmel's team look daft by throwing a party when quite clearly the Orcs got in. You know, and they've got a good team. They've got 4 blitzers, they've got 4 Black Hawks, they've got the hardest orc around apparently in Chris. You know, they've got a troll who likes to eat rulebooks. And they've got a dare player, and they've got the throw a rock in the goblins. So they seem to have all bases covered. Maybe a bit more guarded might be needed, but they seem like they're doing all right. So you know, yeah, I mean,
I like their chances to go back to the playoffs. Yep.
Yeah. It's a good squad. I mean, they're pretty balanced. They got, you know, you can't not many holes in the armor here.
Yeah, yeah. I think in this division they'll do well again. And I'll be keeping an eye on Chris, thinking, yeah, you survived this season. I'll be pulling strings to make sure we're in the next season. We'll be in the same division, Chris. Yes, if you can live that long. And if you're the biggest, baddest orc around, you will live that long. Until another biggest, baddest orc comes and makes you not the biggest, baddest orc, but just a dead orc. And then we'll take all the money.
That's right, throw down the gauntlet.
But you know what's going to happen? He's probably going to get killed by a fling. If he gets killed by a rock, can I claim the bounty? Because it was quite clearly one of my lads. You know, my goblins like throwing rocks. If he dies from a rock, can I claim that? That's what I want to know.
You have to cry if that happens. Oh
yeah.
My God.
I'm just putting out there. I'm just putting out there. If he gets killed by a rock, that's one of my guys. Just saying that now. Just saying
okay.
That now. Rat Life Matters. Right. Final.
Yes.
And Booby. Oh, one of my favourite coaches, Booby. Love Booby a lot. Should really say I love Booby Man a lot, not Booby.
Yeah.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, right. I'm going to clarify that.
Yeah, this is the family channel.
Yeah, I think.
Yes. So, Booby Man, 28. The arena's called Ratopia. He's only played 15 games and no sponsor again. Why has the Rats got no sponsor? Now, this is quite a sad story. Why God? Basically, the Rats have had enough. You know, these nasty humans have basically been keeping them underground all the time. And even when they play a game, they've got to go back underground with all the smelly toilets and all the smell and the stench and all that. And the Rat Lives Matters, all they want is be treated equal. They want to be able to stay on the underground instead of going underground and you know, basically being like humans. But the nasty humans won't let them. And you know, Boobman thinks the best way to get revenge is not to kill them, because that would help nobody, is to get revenge on the pitch and dazzle the fans with all their great skills, and they're going to be like, oh, these rats are so cool. Can I have one, mummy? Can I adopt one of them? And well, I may have just made that slightly like the last bit up, but it sounded cool. And basically, they're going to be like, we like these rats, and they may stay, above ground, and that's basically what it is. So I thought, yeah, that was quite nice, because rat lives do matter.
They do. Has anybody attended any of their protests or any of their sit-ins?
I don't know. I think as a former dwarf, I think they all deserve to die, unless you're called Hantavirus. He's the only rat I actually like. To be fair, all the rest of the rats I don't really care about. To be fair, so I won't be going to Rat Lives Matter. Dead rats matter. If we do one of those, dead rats matter. I'll go to one of those.
As Rat Smasher from the Grimbeards will attest to. Yeah,
absolutely. But I mean, Boomman's a great coach. He plays rats a lot. Rats always seem to do well in the MML, as we know. Dwarfs are classed as the easy mode, when it's quite clearly rats are the easy mode because they win so many titles in the MML. I think he'll do all right. I mean, there's not much of them, but I think rats are one of those teams that play so well with inducements. You get a wizard, and all of a sudden,
rats
within a blink, you can be 2-3-0 up, and then you can't catch them. I just, when I play rats, I always fear. I'm never confident when I'm rats, because anybody can beat me. Rats can just break and fall apart. I think what NTB did with his rats was amazing, and you should get full kudos for hanging with them and winning 2 titles with them. But yeah, rats are one of those teams that can always lose, but at the same time, they can always give you a chance, even when odds stacked against you. Obviously, legendary Spawn of Cthulhu, that game against the Orcs of Preach. Well, I won't say much more than that, but that was, I think it was one rat against an Orc team, and that one rat scored and won the game. I don't know how that... something like that. It was something crazy it was.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so that rivalry was really born out of that. But yeah, rats are rats, aren't they? They're just amazing. He's got healthy gut runs as well, what's very surprising. And then he's got his Storm Vermin as well. When I first came to the MML, I had a team called Ref Justice, what was a rat team. Ironically, they got destroyed by dwarfs, believe it or not, in the semi-final. I think I needed a 4.
How ironic! Yeah, how ironic!
Yes. I needed a 4+ reroll to get through, and obviously I didn't roll it. It is a rat squeak in the background. Like I said, dead lives matter.
He's getting stepped on in the background,
Dead lives matter. That's what we're a part of. I always think. I mean, the thing with rats is I play rats very dirty, and I always worry if I be. People said, "Oh, you got to bring the rats back," and I think, "I know, but I really play dirty when I'm rats, and it might upset a few people." Because rats break very quickly. And I as the fluff, I always look at rats being like, they stab each other in the back. A bit like, the Orcs of Revelation, where they always fight. I can see the same with rats, and they're just nasty, aren't the rats?
Yes, they are.
They are.
But again, I can't see how Booby does. I mean, it's
I mean, they've only played 15 games.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, they're still...
They're a flageling team. Yeah,
they look healthy, don't they? They look quite healthy.
Yeah, and look how healthy they are, right?
Yeah, and they look real, really good for 15 games. Like, they look pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. Every time I see rats, I'm like, shall I bring rats in? But I haven't got a Ratageddon yet. It wouldn't be, But oh man, but they got a good record as well. They look pretty good. Right, okay, we're done with that. Now here comes the tough part.
Right.
Only 2 of these teams can make the playoffs. We also need a bold prediction as well, gentlemen. So we'll do bold predictions first. Does any of you 2 want to go first? Has somebody got one out there already?
A bold prediction? Okay.
Well, I'm going to go with my bold prediction first while you're 2 thinking.
Go ahead. I'm mulling between 2, so go ahead.
All right. Chris will die from a rock.
Oh!
Okay.
And then we'll all be arguing for the bounty. He will die from a rock. If he dies, it'll be a rock what kills him. That's my bold prediction. And then everybody will be fighting over the bounties, claiming it was them. And it'll be like a bit like, I mean, remember, like, I don't know if you guys are that old, but Dallas, who shot JR? That's the sort of thing we're going to get. Who killed Chris with a rock? And
who killed Chris?
Like, yeah. I think that could be quite good. That should happen. And if it does head, then you know I did it.
That should happen.
That should happen. And it can all wind up being a dream sequence. So it's like Dallas.
No. He's going to be dead.
He's going to be dead for real.
Yeah. Oh, dear. But that's my bold prediction.
What I want to say here. I'll say that the... I don't really know if that's that bold. I'll say that the halflings finish with a winning record.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Bold enough.
Okay. I think that Dino Wicked Zinger is going to kill himself a dwarf.
Oh, that would be interesting. Or maybe halfling, because he don't like half of them, does he? Like
or half. That's right. He doesn't like halflings either.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely doesn't like halflings.
Definitely doesn't like halflings. Right.
The halfling is much easier.
That's a much easier kill. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm gonna stick with the dwarf. Right. Yeah. He's gonna foul a dwarf and kill him.
I was gonna ask, is it gonna be a foul or an actual?
Yes. He's not gonna be able to control himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And right.
He sees that dwarf on the ground.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely right. Okay then. So we're now going down to who comes second, who comes first.
Make that happen, Wyatt. If you're listening, make that happen.
I would say make it happen by killing, obviously, Chris, but I already know I'm going to be throwing the rock anyway, so I'll just tell myself.
That's right.
I'll be at every home game and away game, don't you worry. I'll be in the crowd, don't you worry. So, who's going to come second then, guys? Jimmy, we'll go you first. Who do you think's going to come second?
Who comes in second? I'll say. I don't think it's. I think the Orcs of Revelation have a little bit of a letdown season after making the playoffs last year.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say second place goes to. I'm gonna say to the Gate Yobs come in second.
Oh,
go for the other Orcs.
Gate Yobs.
Yeah.
Gate Yobs. Who do you think will come second?
I too believe. I also believe the Orcs will have a letdown. I'm going with second place. I'm gonna go with Gasmeel's Way of Life.
Ooh,
comes in second.
I was between those two, so I'm glad you went the other way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to disagree with both of you because I'm going to kill Chris in week 7. So that still gives him 6 weeks to make sure they make the playoffs. So the Rock will not. Well, it might hit. It depends. It depends how much I've had to drink. But I'm sort of thinking week 7 I'll hit him with the Rock. I think the Rocks of Revelation come second. I think they made the playoffs again. I was impressed with them last season, and it would be funny if they actually squeezed ahead of Gazemill and they threw another party. But
that would be funny.
That would be funny. But I think Rocks of Revelation will come second. Right, Jimmy. Who wins the division?
I think the Grimbeards. I think the Grimbeards get it done.
Ooh, just Stevie will be spitting out his beer after you've said that. Good choice, though. Gotta like the dwarfs. Yeah. Amak?
I'm going with the InGen Dino Clones.
InGen Dino Clones.
And all their skinks.
Jockey's going for Indogen as well. But you know what? I've got to say, guys, you're all wrong. You know, I don't want to. I've read the stories, and Gazmel, or however you pronounce the bloody French guy, Gazmel, whatever.
Gazmel,
This guy knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. He knows how to recruit people. He knows how to lie to people to make them work for him. He's a smart guy. And now Stuntman DD, obviously, who obviously was dragging him down in their last team, he's not there anymore. So we've got a proper guy coaching them. And I think, after throwing a party and losing all that money, I think they need to win the division to get that money back. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be them and the Rogues of Revelation end of the season to be 1-2. I'm really confident. I think in general they're going to be there, but they've only got the one reroll, and that really worries me at the moment. I also think Sackville could do well, like you said, for your ball prediction. It's quite... There's a lot of things can happen, but for some reason, I'm pretty confident with the 12 picks. I think them two will... I've read the stories, and then them two guys know the stuff. The problem with the Orcs is, obviously, they just keep fighting each other. They keep killing each other. Stop fighting each other. Work as a team. If you get, just don't kill each other. That's all I've got to say. But yeah, that's really it. Really, that's all we've got for Pro S29 SCC / TNA.
Yes.
I'll be back probably in about 10 minutes after we have a break, and we will be looking at F4.
F4. Okay.
F4DW, where we will start off with the Hopeless Necromantics, who are obviously a Serious Jazz team, and then obviously the Misfits, and there's some really big names in there as well. So yeah, I'll be back in about 10 minutes, and then obviously we'll talk about F4 and the W. So we will see you soon.